Hey, see, this is what I was talking about. Um,
Do you know every time we say your dad gives us a price on something, it always goes over? That's the truth. I don't care what it is, because it's hard to tell by taxes. What is it?
well, this is the one. I mean, this is
Did you end up?
yeah, 15.5. Yeah, 165 into 7. Or actually, it's a little bit better. The other one had a 40/50. This one has a 40/70. So
Okay.
yeah, this one was a little bit better.
Okay.
But I mean, it says it on my order.
$1,099. Ordered. Sunday. What's it mean? Something. Try it again. Buy it again. What?
Weird. I mean, that
What?
this is not the same one.
It's not the same one you ordered?
Uh,
Oh dear
but it don't matter. I can cancel everything.
God. Okay.
I need to
You
see.
take care of it.
Yeah. Um.
You need me? I'm gonna be in guest room.
Okay. I need to look at my email. See what. Okay. What? Yeah, I figured out what it was.
What is
Um, it didn't cancel. Okay.
it? Okay. It didn't
What I was
cancel.
canceling, it didn't cancel. It didn't cancel the 2-year protection plan. First time, the first one I ordered.
Oh. So what do you have to do to get it? Get the
No,
cancel.
no, like
Call them?
no. Look, no, look.
Okay.
See orders. See now my orders. Well, it should show. Yeah. So
Okay.
see, it shows. This is how I knew it was off
Okay.
because the price. Um.
Okay.
Uh.
So somehow you got to get that
I've got it. So now I don't have the 2-year warranty on this.
on that one. But you have,
So I got to figure out if I can.
you got to get off that warranty on the first one.
I already did that. Canceled it. I
Okay,
just
so
did.
you don't have any warranty on either one of them. None.
I had this one ordered.
Okay,
I just
but
don't.
no warranty.
No.
Well, no. That should be easy to do, shouldn't it?
The tax $106, $1,100.
Okay. And then your warranty.
Total before tax. Oh no, it was $1,100.
Okay.
Then with tax, it's $111.95.
Okay.
And then if I add the warranty, it's going to be another 120 added to that. So that's going to be around 13.
Well, didn't you know that? 1,300? Don't worry.
I know. No, I just got to figure. I got to figure out how to go back and
put the warranty on.
Let's see, orders. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because need to change. Yeah. Dang it.
Okay, that's okay. I just.
Okay, it's okay. All right, so that I got it canceled. Yeah, this one, hey, this one was a Black Friday deal. Look, it was $13.99.
Oh, is this one you got?
That's the one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
21% off.
Bye now.
You don't want to order it again.
No, I already made sure it was canceled. That's it.
You canceled your order?
I had to cancel order go back. That's why they make it so easy to cancel your order, because a lot of times people mess up, forget to do stuff. That's why they make it so easy. But that's good though. They make it that easy.
Well, let's just hope that doesn't get
Where's the
charge you.
No, it's not. I know it doesn't. You won't believe how many times I've ordered stuff and been like, nah, I better.
I know that you have to do it a certain way, not sure.
I don't see. I don't see protection
plans. Maybe that's why you didn't get it.
Oh, here we go. I see it now.
So can you get it later?
No, it was on the front page. I didn't scroll down far enough. All right, 2-year plan. That's all they got. They don't have a 4-year. Okay, 1326. That's okay. That makes sense now. Yeah, it says December 1st. It'll be here.
And so in your wish list for supplements, it doesn't have two.
And the thing is, that's what's awesome about Amazon. You can go back and cancel. So it's so easy to cancel stuff.
Good.
You don't know how many times like times where I've $7, $10 things I buy. You don't know how. I'm telling you, dozen times I've gone back literally the next day and canceled stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like literally, you can go back and cancel everything.
Yeah. Change your mind.
So see right here, this is how I check. So basically, I just go here and go to orders,
Okay.
and this will show me everything that I've.
I don't want to see anything.
Okay.
You said
Yeah. Okay. So that's the 2-year plan for what I got you.
Okay.
$30.
Okay.
Okay. That's
I can't see this far
okay.
away.
So that's okay. But that's okay. Well, okay. This doesn't matter. That's the.
Okay.
I already showed you that. That's
Why does it keep saying try again?
where
Maybe see. I can't see.
buy it again.
Oh, buy it again.
So see, this is so
Okay.
this shows you everything you have ordered. So it's only up there
Okay.
once. So that's all you need to
Okay.
know.
Good.
Then you go to track package,
Yeah, that's neat.
and then I ordered it, and
That's good. See, that's so neat. You can track it.
email delivery. So this is going to come in email.
Huh?
Protection plan for
yeah.
for
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So it says arriving Sunday, December 1st. 16 gig RTX. Yep, that's the right one. So we're good. That was the most pain in the butt thing I've ever ordered in my life.
So frustrating.
But when you're paying for something that's expensive, you want to like make sure, like you know what I mean.
And you sure want to put the warranty on it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like
absolutely.
Especially with buying offline,
Yeah.
it's like in the store it's easy to take it back, but online it's a pain in the butt. But Amazon, like I said, Amazon. That's why a lot of people use Amazon because they make it so easy. Like when you have to return something, they send you a sticker and a box to put it in. You put it in, yeah. So because even the negative reviews I looked at, they canceled them out because Amazon helped them fix the problem. So. I don't know. I'll be in there maybe.
The mid-range gaming laptops receive a considerable amount of hype considering the sheer power and performance they provide while still remaining on a fairly affordable budget. In today's video, we will be discussing the MSI Katana 15 and the specs it offers to those looking to find a strong gaming laptop at a fair price point. We will assess the gaming performance and its features so you can decide if this laptop meets your requirements or not. Also, details about the products we speak about will be linked down in the description. Starting off with the design of the laptop, while it isn't as spectacular as other gaming laptops, the Katana 15 does a nice job of displaying basic design flares to give it much needed personality. The lid has a black etched rendition of the classic MSI shield emblem surrounded by two vertical lines that shift out from the center at a small angle, lifting the lid.
What's up, and welcome back to another live stream with Gizmo Slip Tech. It's a glorious day. We have
Black Friday sale, $1,099.
the $1,499 MSI Katana.
$1,099.
On a 15 with an RTX 4070. Now, there are a number of compromises on this laptop they had to make in order to get that price point down to $1,499. We're going to go over all of the pros and the cons of this laptop today. We're going to be doing a flex test, a display test. We're going to take the bottom off of it. We're going to run a synthetic benchmarks. We're going to undervolt it. We're going to overclock it. We're going to test the keyboard. We're going to test the trackpad. We're going to do everything we can with this laptop to see if it's worth the money, worth the buy. This is going to be one of the most interesting laptops because of the controversial naming changes that NVIDIA did this year. We're going to go over whether the 4070 is a totally crappy buy.
Just moved to America.
Or if it's at least a decent buy. It's one of the most controversial things because basically, at least the RTX 4080 was faster than the 3080 Ti. But in this scenario where we have the 4070, it's struggling to beat the 3070 Ti. And that's what's caused a lot of controversy and a lot of confusion. Real quick, before we get started or continue, I'm going to go over some of the most competitive laptops with the Katana 15. So there's going to be a few other options to consider, especially if you want something that has a better display and a slightly weaker GPU. We're going to talk about that, and it's a laptop I'm going to want to review here. It's the new Pulse 15. So we're going to start at, we could filter by 4070, but instead let's filter by price point. We're going to go down to $1,500 or less, okay? Here are all of the laptops with RTX 4050, 4060, 4070 that have a RTX 4000 series or newer, basically all the new laptops for this year. So we've got the Pulse 15. I think this is the number one competitor to the Katana 15 in my book. Let's pull this up. It's got a very similar build to it. It appears to be basically the same chassis, but it has a higher TDP on the GPU, and it also
The problem is when you get under this price range, it gets hard to find a 1 terabyte SSD. So many of them come with 512 SSDs.
th gen processor. And then if we pop over to Newegg here, you can see it actually comes with a QHD 165 hertz display. So the display is upgraded on this guy, but the big thing about the Pulse 15 is it is only an RTX 4060. So you go down a tier in GPU, but you go up in terms of display and processor. So in my mind, I'm thinking the Pulse 15 is probably the better buy. I don't know. That's my initial thought, but if you're really focusing more on just raw GPU potential, then maybe the 4070 in the Katana 15 will actually be the better buy, especially if you're going to use like an external monitor, so the display quality doesn't matter. And in that situation, then maybe the Katana 15 is the better buy. We don't know. We need to actually fully test it, and it's a little interesting to me that the Katana 15 has a lower TDP on the GPU, so at least supposedly. So here's the Katana 15 that we're looking at today. You can see I bought this from Newegg, and it was shipped, and this is in stock, currently available for order. So if you order this now, you could get it in a few days. But this thing only weighs 5 pounds, less than 5 pounds, extremely light, very portable. It's got a decent selection of ports, and it says only up to 105 watts is what it claims on the 4070, but it has the same chassis as the Pulse.
Gaming laptops use.
Yeah, you're full of crap. Almost everybody has bought this, loves it.
Hey, I'm Chelsea, and I'm at Newegg Studios, and I'm going to be using this laptop for 24 hours. Okay, we're gonna go render into way faster than I've ever been able to do on my older desktop. NVIDIA also has exclusive AI-powered software like Canvas and Omniverse that will really help you level up your creativity. So we've seen some of what this laptop can do. Let's try it outside. Look where we are! The great thing about using this outside is the long-lasting battery life thanks to that Max-Q technology. It's also light enough to carry around. It's very lightweight, so if you're carrying it around campus, bringing it from inside to outside, it's not going to be too heavy to carry around. It is getting a little hot out here, though, so let's head back inside. Very lightweight. Let's go. Alright, I've had this computer for several hours now, so it is evening time. I'm going to get into some gaming. I'm going to play Portal with RTX.
Unleash power with the 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor for ultimate performance. Experience stunning visuals with the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 GPU and ray tracing. Immerse in vibrant colors on the 15.
Really big fan of lighting in video games. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but when I see pretty lights, it just always takes my attention away.
So, not everyone has the budget to buy the most flashy, high-performance gaming laptop to play AAA game titles, and we all certainly wish that mid-tier gaming laptops can still at least deliver good 1080p.
First off, it's the game. Second off, you're watching it through YouTube.
Performance without sacrificing graphics quality. In this case, the MSI Katana A15 right here is the laptop that you might want to take a look. This 15-inch laptop may not have the looks of some recent gaming laptops we checked out, but it delivers excellent 1080p gaming and has a price tag that most people can afford. So here's what you need to know about it.
Right now, on Amazon, you can get it for $1,099, 21% off. 16 gig RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, NVIDIA 4070, 165 gigahertz.
The MSI Katana A15 is powered by an AMD Ryzen 9 8945HS processor and NVIDIA RTX 4060 laptop GPU. The laptop comes
Literally just purchased it an hour ago.
configured with dual channel 16 gig DDR5 memory running at 5600 mega transfers per second and has 512 gigs of NVMe storage. It is a very attractive spec sheet for a mid-range gaming laptop, and fortunately, you can upgrade the RAM up to.
Oh, Lord. Screwed up. Yeah, that one I got is actually a little better than the one in Walmart. One in Walmart was 14.
Yeah.
I think him a size American company, so he, no, so he would have to. That's why I think he has to order it from here. But everybody on YouTube is like, man, this seems amazing. That's why it's sold out everywhere. At least the one I was trying to get. Well, that's what I'm saying. Even the one I got, I ended up getting a basically a $1,500 one for $1,099 because of Black Friday deal.
That's right.
So I wouldn't have been able to even. So I ended up, like I said, I ended up getting one that's even better than the one from Walmart. That'll hopefully now just make sure nobody steals it off the floor. That makes me so nervous.
Be sure to put the ring thing up.
Oh, I'm done. Like I'm gonna be turning on everything. I'm gonna have my phone with the ring thing on. But like I said, it gives you the day, like the tracking, and so you pretty much know when it. That's why I've came up to you and I've been like, have you looked outside, because it shows me it's here, you know. For it says Sunday, but I don't know if they I think.
UPS?
Yeah, some of them do. I can't remember which ones do. I know, yeah, and during these times during the holiday, during the holiday they do 7 days a week because they get so overran. Like it's because it's Amazon. I mean, it's just not, it's growing. So I can't imagine, like they're probably having to hire a lot. It won't fit in the mailbox.
But I mean, if it was an item.
Well, remember they put my package the other day for the mailbox. That thing I ordered, I can't remember what it was, but it was something I ordered. Oh, the stuff for the phone, like the cases and stuff. It was in the mailbox. But look, come here, look at this. This is what it looks like, basically.
Hey, I'm Chelsea, and I'm a new plays games with robots computer to the desk.
Sure.
Alright, since it's top of the morning,
She's a college student.
SolidWorks is a
super
fast and done relatively.
She got it.
For real. So I'm going to open Adobe Premiere Pro and see the editing capabilities on this laptop. Are you going to create?
MS's new Katana gaming lap fresh rate display, upper key RGB keyboard, and a lot of other interesting features. So, hello and welcome to Simplify Tech. I hope you are having a great day so far. In today's video, we will tell you about the new MSI Katana 15 game.
MSI Katana 15 with an RTX 4070 top today. We're going to test the. Here are all of the laptops, RTX 4050, 4060, 4070, that have a RTX 4000 series or newer, basically all the new laptops for this year. So we've got the Pulse 15. I think this is the number one competitor to the Katana 15 in my book. Let's pull this up. It's got a very similar build to it. It appears to be basically the same chassis, but in book, let's pull this up. It's got a very similar build to it. It appears to be basically the same chassis, but it has a higher TDP on the GPU, and it also a 13th gen.
Yeah.
Those numbers, that's stuff I hadn't heard.
Well, some I don't know. GPU is the processor. It's another word. Instead of saying processor, say GPU. It's abbreviation processor.
Oh, okay.
Go down a tier in GPU, or you go up in terms of display and processor. So in my mind, I'm thinking the Pulse 15 is probably.
Well, GPU always means processor, so instead of writing it's just abbreviated word for processor. The process. So the GPU uses the i7 Intel i7, but like you got the 7 Ultra, which is really good too. I don't know the difference between i7 and Ultra. I don't know. But anything in the 7 and above is good.
It's a little interesting to me that the Katana 15 has a lower TDP on the GPU, so at least supposedly. So here's the Katana 15 that we're looking at today. You can see I bought this from Newegg, and it was shipped, and this is in stock, currently available for order. So if you order this now, you should get it in a few days. But this thing only weighs 5 pounds, less than 5 pounds, extremely light, very portable. It's got a decent selection of ports, and it says only up to 105 watts is what it claims.
Oh man, finally got my laptop ordered. Oh my gosh. Dude, that was the biggest hassle in the world. So I ended up having to go a little over 1,000. But I don't know if y'all have heard of the MSI Katana laptop, gaming laptop. It's basically, the specs are it's a MSI Katana 15.6 inch, has a i7 13th generation processor. It has the NVIDIA 4070 graphics card, which is really good. Then it's got 1 terabyte SSD and then 16 gigs of RAM, upgradable, for $1,099 Black Friday. Usually $1,400. 21% off right now on Black Friday. So, and I'm not gonna be like doing hardcore gaming all the time, but I'd rather get I was like, I don't want to get an Xbox and just be tied to having another Xbox console. But I needed a laptop, so I was like, well, pretty much everything on Microsoft is on, everything on Xbox is on on Windows. So I was like, well, let's check and see what the Budget Master says about the price. And the thing was, I found one, it's still good one. It was a 4050 series NVIDIA. 144 hertz, which that would have been fine for $800, but they were sold out, and it showed 3 left, but they were already sold out, so it hadn't updated. And so basically I had ordered it, and then it was such a big hassle. Like, somehow it got sent to my dad's phone that the order was confirmed, and I'm like, no, it was canceled. You saw me sit. I was like, because my dad was sitting there, he was watching. He was looking at seeing what I was getting, and I was like, and then but it was saying cancel payment. I'm like, what's going on? And so I had to call them and figure out what in the world happened. So it was canceled. But the girl who first answered said it was ordered for $799, because it was literally $1,200. It was on sale for $8, maybe it was $899. I can't remember. It was under $1,000. But I ended up paying a little more, but I ended up getting a 4070 NVIDIA instead of 4050, and I ended up getting 165 hertz instead of 140. And so, whatever. But I'm just saying, if y'all look for a good gaming laptop, the MSI Katana, it's getting great reviews all around. Even if you get the 8 gigabyte RAM version, you can get it for like $600, but you're going to just upgrade RAM. You can pay $600, which I probably maybe should. The main reason I want something that's going to last me a while. I don't like buying, that's why I got the iPad Pro. I'd rather pay $1,000 for iPad Pro and have it last me years. I've had this thing for 4 or 5 years now, ever since, this is a 10.5 inch. And the only problem I'm starting to have now after 5 years is the battery sometimes acts weird. But I think it's my plug, not the battery. Because right now it's fine, when I had to turn the plug around on the other side, I think it's something I think the copper's maybe wearing off. But my iPad 5 is powerful as crap, dude. I mean, it's got 512 gigabytes of memory. It was basically the best iPad Pro you could get. And this was the first iPad I've ever owned. I was like, I'm not spending money until they come out with something. And I heard they were coming out one, and I like doing artwork. and so I was like, they have the Apple Pen comes with it, but the reason I'm not going with a MacBook or I'm never buying Apple again. I'm done with Apple. Screw them and their freaking sweatshop practices. Other countries, you know, these people are living in houses like multiple people to one room. I mean, just go do research, guys. It's disgusting, and people buy, you know, and I just don't feel right doing that. Do you actually buy these laptops? Because I hope not, because that's crazy. I think this guy's just trying to show off his laptops. I think you're just trying to show off your laptops. Just kidding. Just ordered it an hour ago. An hour ago. Has 1470, 165 hertz. One terabyte SSD, 16 gigs of RAM. Regularly 1400. So hurry up, they only have a few left on Amazon for $10.99. No, not $99, you idiot.
structural support, I think, to help prevent flex in the chassis. I think that's what this is. I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe a graphic there. Maybe that, because there's this kind of this open air gap right here. Here we are. So we have a 53.5 watt-ounce battery, which is not that big. So you're gonna be looking at probably 3-ish hours web browsing. This thing, maybe a little less, depending on how well you optimize. So maybe up to like 485, probably not like 4 hours of web browsing if you do a good job optimizing. And then if you do a good job optimizing for office tasks, maybe you get like 5 or 6 hours of battery life with this. But most likely, you're probably looking between like 3 and 5 hours.
This Toshiba laptop was $1,800 years and years ago. Has 8 gigs of RAM. Very, very fast for the time. But I want to see what I can take out of this.
Here, is that what this is? But it doesn't. It does not make sense. There's no place for it to receive, so that's a weird placement for that part right there. You guys see that? What do you guys think that is? That looks like an M.2 receiver. But, yeah, I'm not seeing... Like, could you lift this up? You can take that off. But there's no screw to mount the M.2. So you definitely want to keep that in there, though, because that'll help prevent chassis flex. All right, so here's our SSD. Pyrite brand SSD? I've never heard of a Pyrite brand SSD, but it is a 1 terabyte SSD, which is awesome. And for our Wi-Fi, try to get a look at that. It's an AX201, and it should be Wi-Fi 6 with Bluetooth 5.2, which is quite good. For our thermal design here, we have a 3-fan exhaust. So, sorry, it's a 2-fan with 3 exhaust ports. So we have a double exhaust port on this one and this one, and then another exhaust port over here. Our CPU has a hefty amount of heat pipes with 2 shared heat pipes, and, well, actually, that's all 4 of these are shared. 5. Yeah, all of these are shared, and none of them are dedicated. That means that the CPU actually might be able to go to a very high TDP on this chassis just based on the thermal design layout. Kind of impressive, actually. And you can undervolt the CPU, and I'm gonna show you how to do that in this video later on the live stream here, so you can optimize your performance at least a little bit. Now, I have not tried undervolting it yet,
1 terabyte
but I did
hard
make sure
drive.
that you could. Now, the GPU has 6 heat pipes. This is a nice thermal design layout overall for more of a budget-friendly chassis. I'm just curious why it's only 105 watt if this thermal design is so nice. Could it be more than 105? Maybe that's a typo. I don't know. Maybe it is just 105. I'm just curious. Why is it only 105? Okay, and then we have 2 SODIMM slots for our memory, 1 and 2, and it's 8 gigs, 2 8-gig sticks right here, and it is upgradable. You can swap these out right here. I don't want to deal with unplugging the battery, so it won't pull that out. But yeah, that's very nice overall.
I think you know what I think happened.
I don't really see
We took this
where you
computer
can
to
put a
walk. My
second
parents got a new
SSD. Looks
Lenovo
like you're just
Yoga,
gonna be limited to this
and we
one
took this to
SSD
get
unless you
everything put
figure
up
out how
off
to
of it
make
on
this
Best Buy and put on
other
the
M.2
Lenovo.
port
You
work.
know
Like
what's
I said, I just
weird?
don't see how they could mount a second one in here.
2 hard drive
It's so weird that it's
sticks
extra and
are
not 2
missing.
slot. And there's
I
just
mean,
no
the
way to put
gigabyte of
SSD.
RAM. This thing
It's
holds
not
2 sticks of
terrible.
RAM,
It
and
looks
they're not in
promising.
there. I think Best Buy
I want to see
didn't.
the performance. You know, what's the actual
I don't
performance?
I don't even want to aggravate my
And why
dad
did
with that.
MSI limit it down to only 105 watts to the
It doesn't
GPU?
matter. This one's
Okay,
going
so
in the trash
I'm
because
gonna start with
it
the
literally
back. It's
Toshiba quit making laptops, and it sucks because
That was the
when I
hardest
worked at
part
the
to
computer
get
store, we hardly ever got
Alright, and then
Toshiba
we're gonna go around
laptops
the
in.
sides.
They made great
Both
laptops,
sides
but
are
now they
easy to
quit
get
making
back.
them, and you can't go
You just
above
wanna make sure
Windows 8.
every
So
single
that's the whole problem.
little plastic piece
That's
is
why I'm not.
back
That's the only reason I'm
together.
not using this one. I'd use this one.
Alright, and I'm gonna go around one more time just to make
Like I
sure
said, it had
all
8
goes
gigabytes of
flush.
RAM, and now the
Nothing
RAM
bumps together.
there's no RAM in there at all.
Looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and get the screws back in. There are a lot of screws on this chassis. That's
Pretty messed up,
one
man.
downside to their setup. So
But
I
you know,
set
it's
up
gonna
the
be my word
screws
again't
in
theirs
the
because I
same
didn't, you know,
pattern.
and I really, I don't,
Right
it
by
don't.
the screw
Now,
hole,
if this
and
thing
then
was
every
still
screw
usable,
goes back into the same
you know, I would be,
Some
you
of
know,
these
I'd be,
screws are different lengths and
mad,
sizes.
like.
The only
But
downside to doing this is sometimes I'll
if y'all want
drop the
something cool,
laptop,
this is a
something
electric
gets
drill.
swept across the table, and
It's
the
got different
screws go
speeds on the
everywhere.
back. And it
So
comes
you gotta be
with.
careful not to
It's
send the
great for
screws flying.
electronics. I bought it
And I want to
because
note that there is a factory
but
screw sticker,
it comes with this right here,
but
and it goes in there.
your warranty should be covered as long as you don't actually damage
So you put the
lens.
drill on this side, and it's got all these are
Law,
different
at least in the
attachments.
United States is. That might vary from country to country.
It's awesome. It's made for
There's
especially
also a
for like
hole right here
working on computers and stuff.
on
It was like $50 on
chassis that
Amazon.
should be
It's
your
called
CMOS reset if you need to reset
it's called
buttons.
Fanfic.
We're ready to flip this guy over.
But it's amazing drill. I mean, drill's really strong.
It does have a really nice keyboard backlight, in my opinion, for this price point.
That's crazy.
And notice the WASD
Well, I got the hard drive out, so
are translucent, and the arrow keys also have a little bit different design.
and I have another laptop, but it sucks. I'm not using a 6 gigabyte HP touchscreen.
But this is a membrane keyboard, so it has a different feel. Now the power cable is like 6 feet long. It's a very long cable, and the power adapter cable.
Don't ever
is
buy
about
this
4 feet
laptop.
long, okay, and the power. Well, let's go over the ports real quick. On the right side, we have our headset port.
It's HP Envy.
One USB-C 3.2 Gen 2, I believe. And then we have a USB, so it's a USB-A 3.2, and then we have a USB-C with DisplayPort 1.4. So you can use this to output high-end displays like this display behind me. So this laptop can power high-end displays like 4K gaming monitors. And then we also have HDMI 2.1 right here, the high-end HDMI, which is nice, especially on a budget gaming laptop. Oftentimes the ports are sacrificed, and there are a couple compromises on this laptop. Then we have our Ethernet port. It's nothing amazing. I don't think it's a high-end Ethernet port, but yeah. So headset, USB 3.2, USB-C with 1.4 or DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.1, And then I'm not sure if it's 2.5 gig or just a gigabit Ethernet. All right, and then on the left side we have 2 more USB A's. One's a 3.2 and one's a USB 2.0. So this has a USB 2.0. If you're going to use this, you probably want to use it for like a mouse or a keyboard, something basic that doesn't need high speed. Okay, so notice that the actual port itself is black. The inside of it, that means it's the slower USB. All right. All right, so you can see the WASD keys here are translucent. They look pretty cool, actually. I think some people will love it, some people hate it. Okay, that's all I'll say about the keyboard. Translucent keys there. The whole keyboard is all backlit. It's a 4-zone RGB keyboard, so you can customize the light at 4 different intervals, and so you can have basically 4 colors on the whole keyboard at once. The default look is really good, I think. I like the way that it it like gradually shifts from left to right. And the touchpad here is a plastic touchpad, I believe, and it's not that big. The click is all right. It's not that high end of a touchpad. It's more of a budgety touchpad. And if you get sweaty fingers a little bit, or you can catch your finger a little bit. It doesn't glide as smoothly as glass. That's the main downside to the plastic touchpad. But in terms of precision, it seems like it's a fairly precise touchpad, and it seems to work just fine for me in my initial using of the laptop and installing it. There is no Windows Hello. Okay, so there's no Windows Hello on this guy. That's another cost-cutting thing they did on this machine. There you can see the laptop displays brightness. I think we're at 100% brightness right now. We are. And I'll point out on the keyboard here, we've got a number pad over here, which is nice. This is the same layout as the GT75, which works just fine. It can be a little bit cramped feeling, though, all right? So just know that it's not quite as nice of a layout as some of the number pads out there, but it's nice to have it. I love that they included it on a 15-inch laptop. That's very good. The arrow keys also have special functions. I can turn on a crosshair, pause, play music, increase the fan mode, or turn off the display with the different arrow key secondary functions right here with the FN key. So that's pretty nice. You just have to do FN left arrow, and that'll pause play your music. FN middle arrow, and that'll put on your crosshair. You want to see what the crosshair looks like? That's what the crosshair looks like right there. So it's kind of hard to see it probably right now, but I'll turn it off and on a couple times. You will see it. You can customize the crosshair in the software after the fact. So it's just nice in first-person shooters or different adventure-type games. If you need, it makes it a little easier to aim sometimes, especially if everything's really chaotic on the screen. So going around, it's fairly firm. A little bit of flex, a decent amount of flex right here by the touchpad. Not much flex on the left side. A little bit of flex over here. A good amount of flex up here at the top. It's definitely pretty bendy up there. A little bit of bend over here on the right side, and this is, I believe, an entirely plastic chassis, including the top lid, okay? Coming through the middle here, definitely some bend to this chassis. I would say moderately bendy. Yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for. It's one of the ways in which they save money. Not having to reinforce or design the chassis to be as rigid. And definitely some keyboard flex around the keyboard. It's to be expected at this price point. Very rarely are you going to get something super rigid for under $1,500. That's just the reality. Sometimes you can, but not very often. Next up, we have the display test. Should we do the display test next? Let's do the display test. And I can tell you right now that if you are picky on your displays, you probably aren't going to want to get this laptop, right? If you want something that's 500 nits, super contrasty, and is 100%, P3 color gamut or something, this is not a laptop.
I'm probably going to use mine. I'm probably going to put mine, use it as a desktop, put it in my TV.
Display analysis. So this is what we're about to do. Check the color gamut and the brightness and contrast of this laptop display. So, this thing can lay back all the way. It can be flat on a desk. That's kind of unique. Not very many laptops can do that. That's kind of cool, huh? So here's the color display. Got this guy down here. make sure the display brightness is all the way up. It is. Go. Measuring now. Alright, so we gotta set the brightness down to 0. It does get very dim at 0 brightness. That's good, I guess, if you're going to use the laptop at night. And this keyboard backlight does look, it looks pretty good all the time, pretty much, but it is going to look especially gorgeous at night. So, okay, so let's take a look at the results, and then we'll test the hinges. Okay, so we got 61% of sRGB, which is not that vibrant of a display. 46% of Adobe RGB, 45% of P3 color gamut. Brightness goes all the way down to 11 nits brightness at the low end, and 230 nits brightness at the high end. Not a very bright or vibrant display. If you're going to use this outdoors, you're going to basically not be able to see the display very well. And if you're going to be indoors, you'll be able to see it all right, but the colors are not going to be that poppy. The contrast ratio is decent at 930 to 1, so that's about the only thing this display has got going for it in like a majorly positive way. So, as I iterated at the beginning of this live stream, the number one reason to buy this laptop is not because of the display. The display is definitely one of the compromises that MSI went through to be able to sell this RTX 4070 laptop to you at $1499. All right. And if you want a laptop that's very similar to this, the better display, go for the Pulse 15, the MSI Pulse 15, which is basically the same laptop almost, but with a QHD display with an RTX 4060 instead of a 4070 at the same price. Let's take a look at the webcam here. So the webcam is like, I think it's a 720p webcam. The speakers on this also not that special. This will obviously work for the Skype call, but it's not going to be very high quality. It's very grainy, not very much detail here. If you keep the windows open, even though it's going to be a little harder to notice the graininess of it, but yeah, I mean the webcam will work in a pinch. That's basically my summary of the webcam. But it's your typical overall webcam. So when you set this up, you're going to have a few different modes that you can select from. You can do super battery mode to increase your battery life. You'll want to use that if you're going to try to, I don't know, type Word documents or take notes in like college classes or something. Silent mode is going to prevent the laptop from making as much noise by throttling everything down, reducing the power to the GPU and CPU. Balance mode is going to cause some fan noise, but not maximum fan noise, and give you reasonable performance. At least that's what it's supposed to be. Extreme performance is going to ramp those fans very high, and you can hear them already coming on. And you can go into extreme performance mode, and you can activate maximum cooler boost fans as well. You can leave them on auto, so that way they're quiet unless the laptop's under load. So now I switched them back to auto. But if I go back to cooler boost, it's going to go to maximum fan. So here's the sound of the fans. I'm going to go ahead and let this kick on so you guys can hear how loud it is. It's actually not that loud. So we're about 10 inches in front of the laptop. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So there you go. The fans are definitely on the quieter side. That's nice, right? You want the fans to be on the quieter side. It makes sense. This is not some extremely high level of performance, and it's not a very high TDP, so that's one nice advantage. The fans don't have to be as crazy. Yeah, they're not quiet fans. They're not very loud, though. Like, I've been listening to the GT77 and the Strix G18 and the MSI or the Alienware M16. Those laptop fans are much louder than this one when you're comparing max fans to max fans. So overall, this one's not really that bad. So Cinebench R23, this is a benchmark that's designed to test the rendering performance of the CPU. So we're going to do we're in extreme performance mode. We're going to do a one single run first and see what we get. Well, we'll do a series of a few runs. All right. So I always raise the back of the laptop up about a half inch in all of my tests, so that way it's fair for every laptop that I test. So we got 11,683 for our single run. Let's run it again. So we got 11,127. Let's go ahead and do a 10-minute test. This is what we're going to use on my gaming laptop list. Checking out this list right here. So this laptop list is a way for you to check out benchmarks as well as check out and compare all kinds of stats for different laptops. You can see the weight, you can filter by display size, and you can do all kinds of things. You can sort by rating. So you can like say, oh, I only want laptops up to $2,000 and that they weigh less than 5 pounds, for example. And that'll give you lightweight portable laptops only. So we have an i7-12650H. All right, so that's the CPU here. That is 6 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. You can see the clocks here for all 10 cores. We're going to see what this runs at and what temperature it hits and all of that during this 10-minute test. So let's go ahead and get that started. Down here, we're pulling 97 watts on the CPU, 100 watts on the CPU right now, 99 watts. That's a good amount of wattage. 83 watts. Yeah, we've got all of those heat pipes going to that one CPU. It's shared through that one CPU. So it makes sense that it's able to pull that kind of crazy high wattage. The clock speed on all of these cores is really not that high, though. Only 2.7, 2.8. You know, it is a 12-gen CPU, but yeah. Oh, interesting. Wow, our package power is down to only 43. And the temperatures on this CPU are so much lower. You see that? We're only at 53 degrees on the CPU and chip right now. 53 and 58. Now 58 on average. That is so cool. But the thing is, it's a low power limit. So if you want to maximize the performance of the CPU, you're definitely going to try to raise the power limits up to probably 90 or 100 or somewhere in that ballpark, because it was running fine at that level of power limit. And I would let the CPU clocks go much higher, get much better performance. So right now we're averaging 2.8 gigahertz on our CPU, which is just really low, and it's because of this package power being really low, only 48 watts. The temperatures are excellent, though, but it shows that we could definitely push the performance of this laptop a lot harder than we are currently pushing it. All right, so here is the hinge. All right, I'm going to hold it here. You can see it's a little bit wobbly. As far as being able to tell if it's going to come apart on you or not, that's very difficult to know. But the hinge design itself doesn't seem like it's likely to fail. But I do agree, MSI, that's one area where they can improve their design sometimes, or work on improving their brand. I actually had a hinge fail me on one MSI laptop a few years ago, so I definitely had that happen. Overall, I do like, I don't know if I like hinges. I would just say that there's no hinges, there's no weakness here that I can tell. It looks fine, as best I can tell. If you're worried about the hinges breaking, the best thing I can do is say to try to get yourself an extended warranty that lasts 2 or 3 years. If the hinges do...
People
are likely to break anytime soon, it's probably going to break in that next 2 or 3 years. In general, I do recommend buying external warranties from good
people take care of your crap, and you don't have to worry about hinges breaking. All this other stuff.
sources if you can. Just because if you don't want to risk your laptop breaking, getting an external warranty can't.
Well, I got a 2-year warranty, so
I have used the third-party warranties a couple times, and it's definitely helped me out a couple times. So here is the 10-minute time spot, or the 10-minute Cinebench score for out of the box. Let's see what we get. I'm really curious. Notice our average TDP was 48 watts for this 10-minute run. We're gonna try to optimize this score and see what we can get. Now, I bet you we can almost, I don't know if we can double the score, probably not double the score, but we can probably get at least a 50% gain is my prediction right now. I bet we're going to get 50% higher when I modified and tuned this CPU to run faster. Okay, so we got 10,874 points for Cinebench R23. Let's see if we can get at least 16,000 after we tune the CPU. I don't know if we will. So I have not installed anything, and I've not undervolted anything, and I have not raised the power limits on anything. I'm going to try to use Intel XTU to raise the power limits on this laptop. I'm going to go ahead and raise the power limits on anything. I'm going to try to use Intel XTU to raise the power limits on this laptop. I'm going to go ahead and shut down now, and we're going to go into the BIOS, and we're going to see if we can undervolt this thing. So to go into the BIOS, you need to press the delete key. So I'm tapping the delete key. Right as the MSI logo pops up, you need to be pressing the delete key over and over. All right, and when you're in the BIOS, you need to activate advanced mode, Alt, right control, so it's left Alt, right control, right shift, and then F2. That unlocks the advanced mode in the BIOS, and when you're in here, you definitely want to be careful not to turn anything off and on that you should not turn on, okay? All right, so we're going down to the overclocking performance menu right here. We're going to enter. We're going to enable overclocking. We're going to disable undervolt protection, right? And then on the processor, we're going to undervolt. I don't know how much to undervolt on this kind of CPU. I'm thinking probably around 100 should probably be stable. Maybe not though, because it's only a 10-core CPU. This might be too strong of an undervolt. We're going to go 100 and see if it's stable. All right. So this is the P cores. Undervolt is minus 100. Notice I changed it from plus to minus. So I put 100 and then I put minus. And then we're going to go to our E cores. And we're going to do an offset of 50. Again, you have to make it a minus. Very important, you make it a minus. For our ring, we're going to do 50 for our ring. We're going to see if this is stable. This is my first time undervolting this thing, okay? So those are the three things I'm changing: is P cores of their processor, E cores cache, and then our ring cache, which is basically our processor cache. Those three things are now undervolted, and let's see if we're stable. So it says the short power limit boost is to 200 watts. That's not true. Core voltage offset is locked down. It is. So this is no undervolting available in this Intel XTU. Interesting. All right. So for the short-term power boost, let's just try changing this and applying it and seeing if that can at least let Cinebench R23 run at a higher level of performance or not. We're continuing our exploration to see if we can somehow boost the CPU performance on this machine. It's pulling 119 watts right now. Oh yeah, it looks like our power limits are being applied, but we are reaching thermal throttling. So, I mean, our clock speeds are so much faster now, but we are reaching higher temps. Okay, the temps are coming down a little bit. I'm just curious if the package power is going to keep maintaining this high, 100 watts or not. It looks like it's set to throttle at 95 degrees, by the way. So far, our package power is staying up at 100. If you want to tune this to put out a high level of CPU performance, you may not be able to undervolt it to get maximum performance, but this should still be a dramatically faster 10-minute score. It's just going to be pushing the limits of your thermal of this thermal laptop. So we're doing 80 watts now. We're not quite going as hard as we were. I think 80 watts is probably the right place for this CPU to be at. You're not going to be maxing your thermals. At 80 watts, you're going to be hitting a high enough clock speed. Your temperatures on your CPU are going to be below 90. They're going to be in the 80s, which is much better. That's a much better balance, I think, for long-term viability. That said, Intel says the CPU temps can go all the way to 100 without damaging them. That's probably true. I don't have any evidence to indicate otherwise, but I do prefer my CPU temps not to be hitting that thermal limit. I just prefer that. So if this was my laptop, I'd probably set it to an 80-watt power limit in Intel XTU and just keep it there. I don't know. Especially if you're running max fans, that should be fine. So far in this 10-minute test, we've averaged 4.1 to 4.3 on the P cores, 3.5 gigahertz on the E cores on average. Now, our actual clock speeds now are only about 3.9, which are still much better. Before they were at like, what, 2.5, 2.6 stock out of the box tuning. Now they're jumping up to 4.1 again. Doing 84 watts on average. Our averages are not accurate. They're not updating for some reason. Let me reset it. Okay, so I'm just doing a reset. This is going to be only for the second half of the time. Overall, I think this is just about perfect. 85 watts. We're getting to that 90 degrees on the CPU package, 83 degrees on the core, and we're pulling 4.1 gigahertz on the mains, 3.5 on the E cores. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal for this laptop chassis. I think we would be able to do a little better if we were able to undervolt. We'd probably be doing another 0.1 or 0.2 gigahertz more across all the cores if we were able to be undervolting this guy right now. Our averages in the second half of the Cinebench R23 run has been 3.8 to 3.9 gigahertz, though the P Core 0 has been 3.66. Other ones are 3.88. And our E Core averages have been 3.0. Still much better than the first time. Okay, so we ended up with 14,347. That is not as high as I was hoping, simply because our undervolt was not applied. Currently, our undervolt did not apply. Let me go ahead and just make sure that our undervolt settings are still active, but that said, 14,000, what was it, 14,300 or something? That's still a 40% bump, or approximately 35 to 40% bump in performance compared to stock settings. And then if you were to throw the undervolt in there, if we can get this thing to undervolt, that's where we get another 10% performance bump. So popping over into the BIOS, again, pressing the delete key. All right, we're back into the BIOS. Let's just make sure that our settings were saved. Like I said, I'm guessing it's not going to take. The BIOS must be locked down in some way. Here, I don't know. Let me try turning off Intel virtualization here. So let's check our undervolts again. We have overclocking enabled, undervolting disabled. P-Core, it's in here. The offset is here. It's just not being applied. They must not be allowing it. MSI must not be allowing it, unfortunately. That's too bad. No undervolting, as far as I can tell, unless throttle stop lets it happen. So notice that when you're using throttle stop, you really do not want to be utilizing Intel XTU at the same time. You're not going to be able to modify everything that's in here, simply because sometimes the BIOS is not going to let you modify anything, or if the throttle stop is not compatible. But I believe this is typically where you would be modifying. What we would want to do is apply an offset voltage here. It's all grayed out. So even throttle stop is not letting us do anything. So that means that, yeah, it's not gonna, it's still grayed out even in throttle stop, unfortunately. I don't believe, unless I'm just not remembering correctly, but I believe if we were able to use throttle stop, this would be unlocked right here. We would check this box right here, and then we would take our offset voltage and slide that over. Yeah, we're not going to be able to use throttle stop. Throttle stop's a pretty sweet application if you end up with a laptop that hasn't been locked. But for now, my recommendation is to use Intel XTU, raise the power limit to about 85, and you're going to get so much better CPU performance. And that level of CPU performance we got, 14,000 Cinebench R23. My laptop over here, it gets about 15,000, and this was a $3,400 laptop only a couple of years ago, right? So that's the Legion 7i with an i9 11980HK, and that sucker gets like 15,000. And so this machine with raised power limits, almost as high, at half the price of what I paid for that machine. So we're doing 5 games, and then we're going to do Time Spy at the end. So the 5 games we're going to do is God of War, Hogwarts, Cyberpunk 2077, Apex Legends, Red Dead Redemption 2. Everything is set to Ultra. We're cranked to maximum settings. In God of War, we are 1080p DLSS on quality. All right, that's what we're doing our first test with. Notice our GPU is sitting at 85 watts. Our CPU is sitting at 41 watts. So that's our current combined GPU load, about 120 to 130 watts, which is not super high. Not super high. I expect the Pulse 15 would be at least doing 115 watts as a base here. I love the temperatures though. We're only 66 degrees on the GPU, 72, 75 on the CPU. The temps in this right now are phenomenal. And we're hitting high GPU utilization, which is great. We're not being CPU bound. Alright, so we ended up with 7634. And I can tell right now, I am getting just a little bit of ghosting on the display. When I move the display quickly, left to right, that's going to impact your esports gaming and fast response rate gaming pretty noticeably. So 7634 for our initial run. We'll try without DLSS and ensure that it was very, very smooth gameplay. So without DLSS, we're hitting 66 FPS. That's pretty dang good. Especially for all ultra settings. Like, you can obviously down some of these settings and hit way higher FPS. At 1080p, DLSS doesn't really get us that much, right? But DLSS really helps us more in QHD and 4K resolutions. 68 FPS, 46 for our 1% lows. Let's try DLSS on ultra, and let's do just performance, just for fun. See what kind of FPS we get with performance. Wow, it's not that much different. It's like the same almost. This DLSS on or off. You definitely don't want to play with performance at 1080p. That's a bad idea. You can maybe upscale a bit better when you're doing. You probably want to just do quality or just turn it off at 1080p. All right. So overall, obviously going to be very playable for God of War, and it's going to be very good FPS. Okay, so our frame rate is set to uncapped. DLSS is on quality. Frame generation is enabled. Right? Our settings are on ultra with ray tracing enabled. Okay, everything's turned on. Everything's turned on, including DLSS and frame generation. So our VRAM is at 7.5 gigs. Our 1% lows are actually not doing too bad. So we're just going to see what kind of FPS we get in this. We did get a 1% start that was pretty low there. I'm going to turn the sound all the way up for the speakers here. Let you guys kind of listen to them. I'm going to hold the... Okay, so I want to point out, it's playing really well, by the way. I'm impressed. We are maxing our regular RAM. We have 16 gigs of RAM. We're at 15.8 right here. And then our VRAM is also maxed at 7.2. That's pretty much maxed, because you gotta have a little bit of wiggle room there. But the performance is still doing okay. Hitting 83 FPS, and it's not stuttering too much, actually. And the temperatures are pretty dang good. 65 degrees, 73 degrees. I'm impressed. I just think that we would probably get higher FPS just if we had higher power limits. That's the only thing that I'm like, I wish we had higher power limits, but if the power limits were higher, the problem is we would end up with higher temperatures. We would get higher performance too. So these moderate levels of power limits here, it's just cranking out some good FPS considering everything is turned to max right now in the settings. Still providing a very playable experience. Our 1% lows are surprisingly good. It's much better than I was expecting. This should be averaging. Maybe it's not activated. I'm going to start a new average here. So if you're looking for, if you want a 1080p laptop that plays Hogwarts fine, this is going to do all right. Let's try this run. We're at 1080p right now, but let's go ahead and just This is one of the benchmarking runs that we do for the game. Running through here. I think Hogwarts Legacy released a patch, a few patches actually since the game came out. And I think the optimization has gotten better over time. So at 1080p, everything on Ultra, ray tracing enabled, frame generation on, 109.22. Let's try taking off. I mean, there's no reason why you would do this, in my opinion. But we're going to take off DLSS and turn off frame generation. Yeah, frame generation is like, I can see such a difference in smoothness enabling DLSS and frame generation. We did more than double the FPS with those two things enabled here, right? I mean, that's such a big difference. Average has been engaged. We're running. So we got 45.21. What do we get? 112. It's not quite triple the performance with frame generation, but it's a big difference. If you want to play with ray tracing enabled, you pretty much want to have frame generation. No frame generation, DLSS on quality. You'll see the FPS. It's not going to be that much. Like, and I'm sure you can visually see the stutteriness of this, right? Comparatively speaking. So we were doing 35, now we're doing about 65. Let's go ahead and run through this. Our 1% lows are stuttering a bit. Okay, so here we are in Cyberpunk 2077. Let's try everything on Ultra. Okay, so we're going to turn on frame generation, DLSS on quality. Ray tracing is set to Ultra. Once again, our VRAM is being maxed out. Not as future-proof, guys, just pointing that out again. Not as future-proof because the VRAM is being maxed out. Our frames per second is obviously very playable. Everything's on Ultra here. Ray tracing enabled. DLSS is on quality. Frame generation is on 100 FPS in Cyberpunk. That's pretty good for $1,500, I think. That's my initial, at least in terms of performance potential. That's pretty good. I haven't seen how this stacks up against all the competition out there. But if you're looking for a quality gameplay experience, 100 FPS is dang good for $1,500 in Cyberpunk. Everything on Ultra, but you got to be okay with a 1080p experience, and you got to be okay with this lower display quality or using an external monitor. Okay, average FPS was 109.56. Minimum was 38.9. So obviously very, very good performance. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our average for this section. I just started the frame rate. We're at 109. This is very smooth, good gameplay. I can kind of tell there's a slight delay to this display. This display is not the optimal esports display. I don't have any health kits. Why don't I have any health kits? I'm almost dead. I need to find a health kit. You guys got any health kits over here? Oh my goodness, I'm about to die. Okay, boom, we were able to defeat all these guys without any med kits. That's good. Alright, so this is obviously playing really good, and for 1080p gaming, this is going to work really well. Okay, so we're at 1080p. We're at full screen. We do not want VSync enabled. Everything to maximum settings. We're going to apply our changes. Yeah, so this is going to be Red Dead Redemption at 1080p. We are going to be seeing what kind of frame rate we get with this RTX 4070. No DLSS. No DLSS. Just raw. No ray tracing. But a 4080 is obviously going to be a big upgrade. That's going to be very noticeable, especially at QHD. Even at 1080p, it'll be noticeable. But yeah, there is a pretty sizable jump between 4070 and 4080 in this generation. Is Gigabyte a brand that you would recommend? I have owned a number of Gigabyte-made laptops. I've owned Aorus. Gigabyte makes Aorus laptops. And I have had no problems with my Aorus laptops. They have done They have been workhorses. My buddy bought my Aorus X7, and he is still using it. And it's like 6 years old now. Still, it's got a GTX 1080 in it.
Yeah.
Still a great laptop.
Nasty last night.
Yeah.
So,
was anything wrong with it?
I would say that
Alright,
Aorus
I'm gonna fix you some
is a good brand.
cheese
Gigabyte is a bit more
toast. You like
budget
some?
oriented on their laptops.
Yeah.
Lately,
Alright.
not necessarily Arrow.
How you wrap it up?
The
Just
Gigabyte
separate
G5
like
and
Yeah.
G7, those are more budget oriented.
This guy's like doing testing on
and
games with that
I would
the
recommend
laptop I got,
typically
showing all the
whenever
specs.
you them
Yeah,
pass,
he's
there's a
surprised at how
redesign
good it
for the
is.
Gigabyte G5.
He's
I
saying
have
it,
not
it
got
barely
hands-on on
it barely beats
but
his
I have
$3,000
it
one.
so
Whoa! See,
be
that's something to
expecting it.
compare with.
I mean,
It
his $3,000 barely beats that one.
It's good. So, I'm expecting it to be a good value and decent performance. Is QHD that much more noticeable on a 16-inch screen? It depends on how good your eyesight is. I do think it is noticeable for me. I especially like the additional real estate for editing videos and browsing web pages that QHD gives you. But you'd have to have good eyesight to be able to have it be very noticeable. Is the 1080 Ti holding up well till now? I think it is, as long as you're willing to turn down the graphics to like medium or low, or if you're just sticking to 1080p gaming still, a 1080 is still reasonable. Like my buddy plays Apex with me on his GTX 1080, and it still cranks over 144 FPS on that laptop, and that's how fast his display is. So that's all he really needs. So in Red Dead Redemption right now, we're pulling the 75, 76 FPS, 27 FPS for our 1% lows. We're doing 75 to 85 watts of GPU power, over 2100 megahertz on the GPU clock, which is good but not great. We'll definitely see higher GPU clock speeds on higher TDP laptops. And that'll translate into higher wattages, like up to like 130, 125, 140 watts on the GPU, and that's going to give us more FPS. This is definitely leaving some FPS on the table that the 4070 would be able to push out. That said, this gameplay is obviously perfectly fine. It's going to be very smooth at 76 FPS with a 28 FPS 1% low. So Red Dead 2 is going to be another winner for this laptop, at least at 1080p. If you like a MacBook Pro Retina screen on a laptop, which PC laptop would you want to get? You'd want to get at least a QHD in a 16-inch chassis, but you might even consider going for a 4K, like 17-inch one. Okay, so we got 74.6 average FPS in Red Dead 2 at 1080p. Very nice. All right, so let's hop into the firing range first. Oh, we're set to 144 FPS cap right now. We want to try to bypass that to see what this can get. And we probably don't even need to set all these settings down to low, but we might as well. So, here is Apex Legends in the shooting range. I'm going to start the average FPS recording now. I don't know if you can tell, chat, but I am definitely seeing a bit of ghosting on the display, and it makes it a little bit harder to aim. It's not terrible, though. Like, it's not such a horrible response rate that you just can't play esports games, but the ghosting is a bit distracting. Like, if you got a lot going on your screen, the ghosting will make it a little harder to aim. And let me show you guys also what this looks like with the crosshair enabled in the settings here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that on. There's the crosshair. And for video, we'll probably have to do borderless window to be able to see our crosshair. So there's our crosshair. It's causing a glitch where the mouse comes up. Okay, so that is definitely a bit bugged. They need to work on their crosshair, guys. Let's go ahead and hop into a death match. Let's see if we can kill anybody. I'm anticipating we'll be able to do some damage. Oh no! Oh yeah!
We've survived. How did we survive that long? That's crazy. So the sound's pretty good, actually. Like in terms of hearing the gameplay, it's not very spatially aware though. Like, I mean, I can hear that it's on the right side just a little bit, but it's not super noticeable. Oh, we didn't die to that. Oh, we died to that guy though. We're trying to find who's shooting at me over here. I can't really tell where people are because I don't have good ears right now. We are gonna die. This is clearly a great performer, putting out great FPS. So if you want to play esports games with this, with an external full HD 240.
going to use an external display in case the battery life. Skip this laptop and go for the Pulse 15 or another brand like the Strix G16 or Zephyrus G16, something else. Maybe an Acer Nitro 5. I went over a lot of different comparable laptops at the start of the stream, so go back to that section if you want a good look at some potential options. You can check the laptop list here for shopping if you want to shop around for different options. The person who wants to buy this wants to maximize their GPU, CUDA cores, and potential frame generation
Asus Nitro.
versus say buying an RTX 3000 series. The person who buys this is not going to care as much.
Asus Nitro. Are you kidding me? Asus gaming laptop.
Much about the display quality potential like at the start of the stream. So great panel, definitely not a great panel. And so if you're sensitive to wanting a high quality display, skip this laptop and go for the Pulse 15 or another brand like the Strix G16 or Zephyrus G16, something else. Maybe an Acer Nitro 5. I went over a lot of different comparable laptops at the.
You're seriously comparing this to the Nitro 5 by Acer?
Part of the stream, so go back to that section if you want a good look at some potential options. You can check the laptop list here for shop when you want to shop around for different options. The person who wants to buy this wants to maximize their GPU, CUDA cores, and potential like frame generation performance versus say buying an RTX 3000 series. The person who buys this is not going to care as much about the display quality, brightness, or color gamut. Maybe because they're going to use an external display most of the time, or they just, like I said, they just don't care about the display quality as much. They would rather have the graphical performance and future proofing. For 1080p gaming, this thing's going to crush it. I think 1080p games, it's going to do really well. You'll play 1080p games without any problems. What's up, and welcome back to another live stream. Compromises on this laptop. Today we're going to be doing a flex test, a display laptop. This is or of the controversial naming changes, basically, at least the RTX 4080 was faster than the 3080 Ti, but in this scenario where we have the 4070, it's struggling to beat the 3070 Ti, and that's what's caused a lot of controversy and a lot of confusion. Real quick before we get started or continue, I'm going to go over some of the most competitive laptops with the Katana 15. So there's going to be a few other options to consider, especially if you want something that has a better display and a slightly weaker GPU. Well, we're going to talk about that. It's the laptop I'm going to want to review here. It's the new Pulse 15. So we're going to start at we could filter by 4070, but instead let's filter by price point. So we're going to go down to $1,500 or less. Okay. Here are all of the laptops with RTX 4050, 4060, 4070 that have a RTX 4000 series or newer, basically all the new laptops for this year. So we've got the Pulse 15. I think this is the number one competitor to the Katana 15 in my book. Let's pull this up. It's got a very similar build to it. It appears to be basically the same chassis, but it has a higher TDP on the GPU, and it also a 13th gen processor. And then if we pop over to display, you can see it actually comes with a QHD 165 hertz display. So the display is upgraded on this guy, but the big thing about the Pulse 15 is it is only an RTX 4060. So you go down a tier in GPU, but you go up in terms of display and processor. So in my mind, I'm thinking the Pulse 15 is probably the better buy. I don't know. That's my initial thought. But if you're really focusing more on just raw GPU potential, then maybe the 4070 in the Katana 15 will actually be the better buy, especially if you're going to use like an external monitor, so the display quality doesn't matter. And then in that situation, then maybe the Katana 15 is the better buy. We don't know. We need to actually fully test it. And
Okay.
it's a little interesting to me that the Katana 15 has a lower TDP on the
MSI Pulse.
The MSI Pulse 15 is a more entry-level notebook from the gaming brand, which aims to deliver RTX 4060 gaming without breaking the bank. It skims on a few higher-end features in order to bring down the price tag, but at the same time, its 1080p 360Hz display makes for a great addition. Sure, 1080p isn't the best resolution you can play games at on a notebook, but the 15.6-inch panel means everything you throw at it still looks great thanks to the higher PPI. This specific model comes packed with an RTX 4060 GPU with 8GB of RAM and an Intel 13th Gen Core i7-13700H processor. You can get other models that come with RTX 4070 GPUs as well as 1440p 165Hz displays. These are great for those who want a bit of variation. The 1080p model is definitely the budget option, and for those who want a 360Hz panel, perhaps a more competitive gamer. The MSI Pulse 15B 13B comes in a simple brown box, which includes the notebook and the 240-watt power adapter. The notebook itself features a black and silver exterior shell, with the lid including a sort of steel hook thanks to its aluminium finish. The rest of the notebook is black plastic, which helps with the weight, but it doesn't help with the cheap build. At the bottom, you'll find the air vents, which are stamped in an asymmetrical pattern. These shapes include holes and vents, which are also asymmetrical to the actual holes. aggressive outfit lines and shapes, this definitely looked off to me, but it is stylish nonetheless. On the left-hand side of the notebook, you'll find two USB-A ports and the power plug port. One is a USB 3.2 port and the other is a USB 2.0 port, likely just for a wired mouse. On the right-hand side, you'll then find an audio jack copper port, another USB-A Type-A 3.2 port, and a USB Type-C 3.2 port. There's also an HDMI 2.1 port, which is great to see. Some MSI 40 series notebooks I've reviewed in the past still came with an HDMI 2.0 port. Lastly, there's a gigabit LAN port. There isn't much going on in terms of the design. The MSI Pulse 15B13B is your average run-of-the-mill gaming notebook. It weighs 2.3 kilograms and is 27mm thick. The display takes up a good amount of real estate on the top lid, and the keyboard features a 4-zone backlighting and also comes with a number pad. It's great to see here too. The WASD keys are also translucent for that whole gaming-like feel. The touchpad was a bit tiny for my liking. Touchpads should just be bigger nowadays. They are cheap to make, and with Windows gestures being so widely used, it makes sense to have wider area to put your fingers around. I just don't know why we're still getting these minuscule touchpads. Introducing the three-man squad, Pulse AI series, the Crosshair HX series, and the Sword HX series. They have powerful performance. Introducing the three-man squad, Pulse AI series, the Crosshair HX series, and the Sword HX series. They have powerful performance, astonishing outlook, next era AI.
You forgot the katana, moron.
Solutions, and many more to explore. Haven't decided which one your company you want the battlefield? Come to have a look with me and analyze the difference between them. The three-man squad is designed for gamers who are pursuing for medium to high-end gaming experience. The Sword HX series has set the bar for gaming. But if you wish to achieve a next-level gaming experience, you should try out the full-power GPU on the Crosshair HX series and Pulse AI series. The name of the AI also reveals that the Pulse is specialized in AI-driven tasks. Because of the Core Ultra CPU with built-in NPU, allowing for you to work smarter and more intelligent. The HX for the Crosshair shows that it is more powerful in performance because of its 14th gen Intel Core HX processors. But most importantly, all three laptops promise you an outstanding gaming experience. After viewing the whole picture, haven't you decided yet? Let's dive in for more detailed specifications. The Pulse AI series is equipped with the latest Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, 185H, with built-in NPU. And the Crosshair HX series and Sword HX series come with the latest Intel Core i7 processor, 14700HX. The Crosshair HX series and Sword HX series have one NVMe PCIe Gen 4 plus one NVMe PCIe Gen 5 SSD, and the Pulse AI series has two NVMe PCIe Gen 4 SSDs. The Sword series is a little lighter, Pulse AI series and Crosshair HX series. All three laptops are equipped with an outstanding QHD Plus 240Hz display, which brings you smooth and fast gaming visuals.
Bro, you're lazy. Every single
I know it's quite hard to
every single link for the MSI computers you reviewed
decide from all three laptops with such powerful
reviewed are not working or are foreign countries.
performance, the outlook might clear your mind. They all have different star for the Pulse AI CPC. It has a low-key but elegant core black cover side, electromagnetic pulse pattern keyboard side that represents the Pulse series.
What's up, and welcome back to another live stream with Gizmo Slip Tech. Today, we are going to be doing an unboxing review of the MSI Pulse 15. Now, this is going to be one of the best mid-range, more budgety options, but not really super budget because it's $1,500. So you're getting a bit more premium display on this. It's going to be a QHD 165 hertz, supposed to be, I think, fairly bright and fairly vibrant, but we're actually going to test that today with the display testing tool that I have, ps5live Elite. We're also going to be unboxing the bottom, removing the bottom, seeing what the inside looks like, seeing what the upgradability is like. We're going to play a bunch of games on this guy, and then we are going to test the speakers, test the keyboard, the trackpad, the webcam. We're going to look at the ports. We're going to look at every single thing you can possibly look at about this laptop in detail. For the most part, I think this is going to be one of the top picks if you're looking at a $1,500 price point for a gaming laptop. There are going to be some other options out there, and we're going to go over all of those options. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do that right now before we continue. So, 2023 gaming laptop.
I just ordered the MSI Katana 15.
Ranked list. Now, there are going to be a lot of laptops going in and out of this top deals section. Right now, the starting price is at $1349, but we'll have some other cheaper laptops in that top deal section very soon. As a matter of fact, I think this Acer Nitro 5 probably deserves to be in there. It's a really nice deal overall. I just recently tested. I liked it a lot. But yeah, anyway, just know that if you're looking for a great deal on a laptop, you can look in this top deal section and likely find a really good deal in your price range. And we're going to go over some of the best deals at the $1,500 price point that we're going to be competing, that are going to compete really well against this Pulse 15. So, anyway, on this sheet, just so you know how it works, there's a link in the description.
Bro, MSI Katana.
Down below if you want to check it out. If you click this expansion button, or if you're on mobile, you can tap on the laptop name. It'll pop up with a card view, and you can see pictures of the laptop. This will let you see what ports are on it. You can also look in the top right up here. There are specs for the CPU, the GPU, how much RAM it has, the SSD space, the display, and hopefully a little bit about the quality of the display if we have that information. Now, in addition, we have the price point, the total size, the battery size, and then there's links at the bottom for each laptop where you can buy it if it's available for sale. And we update this list with all of these laptops and their pricing, whether they're available in stock or sold out, or what sales are going on across tons of different websites every single day. So just know that if you're looking for up-to-date information on which laptops are available, which laptops are not available, if you're not sure if some laptop you're interested in is available, you can check the list and see stock and availability, as well as find benchmark information. If you go over further to the right, we do have a lot of benchmark data here now for the TimeSpy and Cinebench R23. And we are also adding in God of War, Red Dead Redemption, and Cyberpunk benchmarks. I think we're going to change up which games we're going to be adding here, but as I do the benchmarks, we're adding them to the list. And I've done now 15, 16 different laptops, and we're going to keep going through more and more laptops and keep adding more and more data to the list here. So, and you can see some of these labs, there's a lot more data down here. And we are looking around the internet for more data as well. And we link to the benchmark sources. So if you want to know where we found these benchmarks, you can find potential reviews of these laptops for any benchmarks you do see on the sheet. So just know there's a benchmark sources here as well. And yeah, on the left side, you can also filter and sort this list. So if your price range is up to $1,500, you can set the price range to be up to $1,500 or $1,200, $1,500, whatever you want, or display size or weight or whatever. So there's a lot of power, a lot of availability to take advantage of on this sheet, and I would encourage you to do so. The sheet now has 85,000 views. Moving on to our first up, our comparisons. All right, so MSI Pulse 15 got an i7-13620H with an RTX 4060. It's rated to 140 watts. I'm going to be looking 140 watts when we're playing games and doing our benchmarks tests, but I don't know that we'll actually see that. We'll see. I haven't done any tests on it yet, but so far, like I found out the Incident Retro 5 that I reviewed was technically rated at 140 watts, but we never saw 140 watts in any game. Like it was literally like what 105, 110 watts was the most we saw. So I don't know if we're actually going to see 140 watts right now in this laptop, but either way, we'll still be evaluating performance, and hopefully we're going to get high enough TDP to have great performance from the RTX 4060. Now this comes with 16 gigs of DDR5 5200. That's DDR5, so it's going to be dual channel no matter what. A 1 terabyte SSD, so that's nice. You're getting an additional larger SSD with the Pulse 15 compared to, I believe, the Katana. No, the Katana came with a 1 terabyte as well.
Yeah.
But some of these
Cheese
around
toast
$1,500,
and
like
boiled
the
eggs
Zephyrus
with it.
G16,
Okay.
it only has a 512 gig SSD, so you wouldn't necessarily have to upgrade the SSD as quickly if you get the Pulse 15. And then we have a QHD 165 hertz. This is supposed to be 100% DCI P3 color gamut display. And as you can see, it's a very similar build and design look for the Pulse 15 when you compare it to the Katana, though I don't believe it's the exact same one. There is some differences. We'll try to look for those differences as we do this unboxing. All right, so next up that we're comparing with is the Zephyrus G16. Now this has the same CPU, the same GPU, but it only has 16 gigs of DDR4 3200, and this is in single channel memory wise, right? So you're going to get more performance out of the Zephyrus G16 if you upgrade the RAM to dual channel. So that's very important to note. The 16 gigs is soldered onto the motherboard. 512 gig SSD, so a smaller SSD, and then you only get a full HD plus 165 hertz display, and it's 284 nits as measured by my Spider-5 Elite. Now, the Zephyrus G16, the thing about it is you do have Windows Hello, you have a nice speaker system on the G16, and it's just a bit more of a premium feel to the machine overall. And I do really recommend the Zephyrus G16, but today, because look at this, you also get a 16:10 aspect ratio with minimal bezel on it, but there's certain things you're not getting as high value as the Pulse 15. You have a smaller SSD, you have slower RAM, there's only single channel, and then you also only have a full HD display instead of QHD display, and I believe the Pulse 15 display is going to be brighter as well. So there's a lot of trade-offs between the Zephyrus G16 and the Pulse 15, and I'm thinking that if you're after a better quality display, the Pulse 15 is going to be the way to go. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see by the end of today. I'm going to be doing a summary of everything we find out about what, and you get either 8 or 16 gigs of DDR5 4000 series memory. Oh, depending on which one you end up getting, I believe. Is this this? But we'll have to see. We'll have to see by. But we'll have. But we'll have. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see by the end of today. I'm going to be doing a summary of everything we find out about the laptop at the end. So, if you only have a little bit of time, I would 12 Gen 12650H, a very similar CPU to the one in this Katana. In the Pulse 15. You get an RTX 4070. It went up to about 105 watts, and you get either 8 or 16 gigs of DDR5 4000 series memory. Oh, depending on which one you end up getting, I believe. Is this the new egg right here? So this is the one that I reviewed right here, and it did come with 16 gigs of RAM. I don't. It's DDR5, so it's going to be single channel. It's going to be dual channel either way. But the display on this Katana is basically as cheap a display as you can possibly get. It's a very low color gamut and very low nits brightness, but at least you get a 1 terabyte SSD. And the performance on the 4070 was, I thought, pretty decent. Like it was cranking out good frame rates. But the thing is, the display is really going to be a drawback and a hindrance to people who want a higher quality display. Now, the Katana 15 obviously is a very thin, portable type of chassis, and I'm not saying that you should necessarily buy the Katana 15. I think the Katana 15 is really more for the people that just want pure GPU performance, and maybe they're going to use it on an external monitor mainly. That's the only situation where I think I'd probably recommend the Katana 15 over the Pulse 15, because the displays are so important to having a great all-around experience with your gaming laptop. Now, next we're going to talk about 3 laptops on sale. Lenovo Legion 5. This is one of the laptops on sale in the company Lenovo Legion 5, Ryzen 7 6800, RTX 3070 Ti, 140 watt, and it is 140 watt because of that high wattage. 16 gigs DDR5, 2 terabyte SSD, phenomenal value on the SSD for the money at 1489. Full HD 165 hertz display, and that's the downside. You're paying 1500, essentially 1489, for only a full HD display. Um, and then it's obviously going to be a larger, heavier system when compared to something like the Pulse 15 or some of these other laptops like the Zephyrus G16, but you get a number pad on it. So this one's on sale right now, and there's a link again in the description to this deals list, and you got links to buy on all of these laptops. Next up, we have the Scar 15. I love the Scar 15. I used this laptop for my own laptop for a long time. RTX 3080, 130 watt, 16 gigs DDR4 3200, 1 terabyte SSD, a full HD 300 hertz display. That's a nicer quality display, but again, it's not QHD. But you get an RTX 3080, right? So you get 16 gigs of VRAM, which is going to be awesome if you want to do 4K gaming or just ensure that you're more future-proof with your VRAM when compared to like the 8 gigs of VRAM on the Pulse 15. So that's probably one of the major considerations. Plus, you got a Ryzen chip in there, so the battery life's going to be pretty decent. And the Scar 15, I think, is an awesome laptop with good speakers, nice RGB, and I definitely recommend this at the $1,500 price point as well. But it is going to be, again, a bit of a thicker system and a decent set of ports on this guy too. Not amazing ports, but pretty decent. Now this guy is an interesting option. The Acer Nitro 5 with an 8-core Ryzen 7 6800H RTX 3070 Ti up to 150 watts according to this. I haven't tested that. 32 gigs of DDR5. 32 gigs of DDR5. That's impressive. 32 gigs of DDR5, 1 terabyte SSD, QHD 165 hertz with a high color gamut is what it's supposed to be. Again, we haven't tested that, but these are the claims by the manufacturer for $1349. I don't anticipate this deal to be up here for too long. It's $750 off. So if you're looking for currently the best deal under 1500, this is probably currently the best deal under $1,500 for right now. Probably better than the Pulse 15, though in frame generation games, the Pulse 15 will definitely crush this 3070 Ti in frame generation titles specifically. But in raw rasterization performance, this Nitro 5 should be better, right? Because it's got a 3070 Ti, at least by a bit. And the display should be in the same ballpark of quality. But 32 gigs of RAM is a nice upgrade on this Nitro 5, especially considering the price point. And I'm sure this sale is only going to be temporary, not permanent. Again, this is a thicker, heavier system at 5.5 pounds and about an inch, 1.16 inches thick. So know that the Pulse 15 weighs 5 pounds, right? And it is also very thin, basically 1 inch.
Lenovo Legion. Asus ROG Strix versus MSI Katana. Dude, you're a moron. You literally got them confused and mixed up in the specs. And you listed them both as MSI Katana in the beginning. The had the name MSI Katana on both of them, both pictures. And actually, the MSI Katana is 16 by 10, not the Asus. Absolutely not.
Hi, today we are comparing the full specification of Asus TUF Gaming F15 2023 versus Now let's go to IO ports.
NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 brings a new level of performance and efficiency to gaming laptops, offering excellent visuals and smooth gameplay. Today, we're exploring the best gaming laptops with the RTX 4060, delivering a perfect blend of performance, portability, and value.
Another trash YouTuber.
From lightweight designs to high refresh rate displays, these laptops will elevate your game.
Sorry.
I tested many gaming laptops recently, and now I'm going to rank the 20 most popular budget gaming laptops of 2024. List all of these budget gaming laptops, because Neo 16 is a great budget-friendly gaming laptop, Advantage Edition. And a rate impressive last, I'm placing it in the good tier. Number 19, Asus TUF-15. The Asus TUF-15 is a sleek and sturdy gaming laptop that doesn't scream gaming with its design. It features an Intel Core i7 12650H and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060, providing good performance for its price. The keyboard is spacious and comfortable, and the touchpad is smooth and responsive. However, the port placement is a bit odd, and it had some software issues initially. Despite these minor drawbacks, it offers great value for money and is a strong contender in the mid-range gaming laptop market. I'm placing it in the great tier. So there you have it. These are my personal ratings for all of the most popular gaming laptops of 2024. Links to all of these game market, responsive, Intel Core, I'm placing it impressive plastic and a rating. This is tough high-end is 14 versus G14. The Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 is a compact powerhouse with an AMD Ryzen 9 7940HS and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. Its 14-inch mini LED display is stunning, offering vibrant colors and deep blacks. The build quality is excellent and it has a great selection of ports. However, it can get quite hot under load, and the high-end configuration makes it quite expensive. For those who want top-tier performance and a portable form factor, this is a great option. I'm placing it in the good tier. Number 8, high-end config 14-inch mini G14, deal breaker for some. If you're on a budget and looking for your first gaming laptop, the Katana 15 is a decent choice. I'm placing it in the good tier. Number 17, Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. The Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 is a compact powerhouse with an AMD Ryzen 9 7940HS and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. Number 15, slightly unusual 8 games with ease. The Asus TUF Gaming F15 is a beast when it comes to gaming performance. With an Intel Core i7 12700H and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060, it can handle AA8 games with ease. The 144Hz display is smooth and the build quality is robust, making it perfect for gamers who need a durable machine. The only downsides are the slightly unusual clicking mechanism of the touchpad and the compact arrow keys. Overall, it's a fantastic gaming laptop that offers excellent value for money. I'm putting it in the great tier. Number 15, Lenovo Legion Slim 5.
You're an idiot. The links you put are not even the computers you talked about.
Legion Slim 5 is a well-rounded gaming laptop that offers solid performance and long battery life. It features
The best gaming laptop is a thing of beauty. A piece of PC gaming hardware that's as sleek and portable as it is powerful. We're at a point in PC tech where you can genuinely have desktop gaming performance in a notebook less than an inch thick and small enough to pack in a backpack. You've decided to buy a gaming laptop at the right time. The next generation of mobile GPU and CPU is only just hitting the shelves, offering the best NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel has to offer. We have listed the top 7 gaming laptops and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. Links to all products mentioned in the video are in the description below. You can also find a more detailed analysis and a comparison tool on our website, validconsumer.com. Number 7. Acer Nitro 5. The Acer Nitro 5 has long been our favorite gaming laptop for those on a tight budget. The latest model we've tested with an Intel Core i5-12500H and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 Ti offers decent performance for the price, as long as you're willing to turn down the settings on some games. Acer has given the Nitro 5 a new, more adult design. It's less angular and with fewer red accents. Doesn't scream as much that it's a gaming notebook. We've seen that aesthetic become popular on expensive notebooks. It's nice to see a toned down design on a gaming laptop that's $899.99. Don't worry, there's still an RGB backlit keyboard for those that are into that sort of thing. There's a bit of room to upgrade inside too. Acer includes a SATA cable in the box for people who want to open the laptop and add a 2.5-inch hard drive or SSD. The RAM, NVMe SSD, and Wi-Fi card are all easily accessible too. The big downside for buying on a budget is the amount of bloatware Acer pre-installed in this thing. You may want to spend a bit of time removing some of the extras. Number 6. Asus ROG Surprise G14.
Dude, you must be kidding. You gotta be kidding me. What? What the?
Having the right affordable gaming laptop can completely change your gaming experience. In this video, I'm breaking down the top 3 best budget gaming laptops so you never have to suffer through bad lag gameplay ever again. The only issue is that a laptop might work great for a friend, but might not be the best for you, because most affordable laptops are not made specifically with gamers in mind, which is why I made sure to include options for all types of situations. So regardless of what you're looking for, I'll have the perfect affordable gaming laptop for you. All the links to find the best prices on all the products mentioned in this video will be in the description below. The products mentioned in this video are in no exact order, so be sure to stay tuned so you don't miss anything. First on my list is the Acer Nitro 5, my choice for the best entry-level gaming laptop. The Acer Nitro 5 is an entry-level gaming laptop that really packs a punch. It comes equipped with an i7 processor, which is enough power to handle all your 512 gigabyte SSD. You'll have plenty of space for all your files and games. It also has a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce GTX 3050 Ti graphics card, which uses new ray tracing cores, tensor cores, and streaming multiprocessors to produce incredibly powerful and immersive graphics. To keep the Nitro 5 cool enough for your gaming sessions, it has dual fan cooling, dual intakes, and a quad exhaust port design. And you can use the utility app for extra control over fan speeds, lighting, and more. The Nitro 5 visual display features a 15.6-inch full HD LED backlit in-plane switching panel.
I tell you, if you sat here long enough, you'd drive yourself crazy. I said, if you sat here and try to look at all the laptops they have out there, you'd drive yourself crazy. It's just so many of them, and it's like they're all like, this one's good, this one's good, this one's good.
2W speakers that provide
It's like so many in that price range of 800 to 1,000. There's so many in that price range. It's crazy. Well, I mean, that's why you look at multiple channels, or you look at multiple reviews from different sources. Like everywhere I looked, the one I ordered was like one of the best for that price. Like even that guy, I watched the guy for an hour run software programs. He even went to the BIOS and overclocked it. You can overclock it. That means you can make it more powerful than it comes out the box. And he was doing all these tests with the F showing the frames per second. Like I watched the one I bought. It was crazy. He said the downside was display is only 1080, but I don't care about that. 1080 is fine. 1080p.
Okay.
That's high.
Okay.
But that's
Oh, I know.
it's basically gonna it's probably gonna have the same screen like your Toshiba. So that's fine. I don't care about it. But he said if you hook this thing up to like a TV, he said, but he couldn't believe how good it did with games. Like it was running every game. He said it runs the game's great. He said the monitor just is not like a high def. Well, it's high def, but it's not 4K like y'all's that have now.
Yes.
Like you have, it's not gonna be as good as the one you got.
I got a serious question
What?
to ask you. If you went to Best Buy or where they sell real nice,
Yeah, Mom, they add too much stuff to them. That's why they're overpriced.
No, listen.
Okay.
And you know what you sort of know what you want. Will they let you compare the way some of the computers do compared to some other ones? Can you turn it on, see what it does?
No, I can't
Then
do
we'll
that.
let you
I
do
can't.
that.
Well, no, yeah, you could. They have all the computers there for you to mess
But you
with.
can't bring it home and try it out. That's what I'm saying.
Do I need to answer that? Yeah, because.
Something
Thank you.
happened to
I'm
it.
out of here. I'm going back to
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, that's true.
And
But I was just thinking
plus,
so
my luck.
nice.
No, you can't. That's why, Mom. You don't need to do that. I mean, there's like literally, there's like this is a guy I watched, like right here.
4070 in the Katana 15
Look
will
at
actually be the better buy, especially if you're going to use
yeah,
like
but look.
an
Let me
external
show you
monitor,
what all
so
he
the
did. The
display
testing.
quality doesn't
This is
matter.
the one I got. This is. Remember I showed you the
Like I said,
picture.
I
He
just
was
see
taking
how they
apart.
mount
Yeah, but look at all these tests. Look
cores.
at all these tests he
We're
was
going to
running.
see what this
He
runs
was going.
at and what
He
temperature
did stuff I
hits
didn't
and
know what he
all
was
of
talking
that
about.
during this 10-minute
Cinebench is
test.
something that
So
you
let's go ahead and get that
he said
started. Down here, we're pulling
I saved this
97
video
watts
because
on
he
the
shows you how to
CPU,
go
100
in
watts
and
on
make
the
it perform a
CPU right
little
now,
even better.
99 watts.
And so
That's
he's
a
doing
good amount of wattage.
Yeah, but look at this. This is just this is not even half the video. Look, he used multiple different types. He ran multiple programs. He's in the BIOS now,
in some way,
enabling stuff. Look, this is the game right here.
And ensure that it was very, very smooth gameplay.
How many people could really understand that?
No, but what you're doing is he's explaining it to you as he goes. He's not just
that to me is a blessing that you can understand it and teach people.
Well, that's what he does. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But see, look, he hooks it up to his he's got a projector. That's the project. So he's got a hook. So he said the best thing to do is hook it to a better monitor.
Okay.
So he said basically just he said the only thing bad about it is the monitor. He said it performed way better than he thought. This is the game right here being played.
What do you mean
All
by
right, so we got
graphics.
6633
okay.
for our God of War.
See, God of War takes a lot of graphic power.
That's amazing.
See, look at this. Look at this. This is the game.
Ray tracing ultra, everything else on ultra.
I should have had my average running during that whole time.
No,
I did
no,
not.
because he
Oh, well.
reviews
Okay,
all
so
kinds of stuff.
73 FPS.
He's not just
average,
reviewing one. Mom, he
32
had
for
like
the
10.
min.
He
And for
showed
this
laptops
test,
he
with the
has all the way up
Scar
to
18,
$5,000.
4090, I think we were
He said this one performs almost the same thing as his 3,000.
The
He
Strix
said it
G18
only
got
scored a little bit
102,
less
I
than his
believe.
$3,000.
Between this one
Like he's not
and the Strix
he's
G18,
not
it's a
pushing the laptop. He gave the bad and the good. He didn't
FPS
just
increase.
yeah. Now
Which
if
is
you
a
want to
pretty
see it there,
substantial
if you want to see a
increase.
crappy if you want to see a crappy thing, right here, this stupid idiot right here.
Okay. Let's see.
Look, well, no, a while ago I put Asus ROG versus the MSI,
Okay.
and he had the MSI on both sides. That's how lazy he was. He didn't even have the names right. And then he said the MSI one I got this is 10 by 9,
Okay.
like 10 by 9 widescreen.
Okay.
The one I got is 10 by 10, so it's a little more square. That's a good thing for gaming. But he said that this one had the 10.9, 16.9. I mean 10. So he had everything on just great. And people were like,
well, everything's the same on both sides.
that's the point. Like I can tell when somebody.
How to work and you compare what he gave you.
I'm just saying the fact that he couldn't even get it right on the screen shows that he doesn't know what the crap he's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like this right here. This is the one I got. I found the best MSI laptop, so you don't have to. I mean, it's there. The MS5 is like, yeah, it's for what I need it for. Of course, there's up to $5,000 laptops, but for the price range, I'm getting something that's worth way more. I mean, like I said,
everybody can't afford.
Well, like I said, it's originally $1,500.
Yeah.
So he was reviewing. He was the one I'm getting. He was reviewing it when it was still $1,500, but might as well sell. So he would definitely be like, "Yes, get this for $1,099."
But see, Wayne, you never were crazy about the real expensive phones. You were crazy about monitors and computers and laptops and tablets and more than you were your phone.
Yeah, phone can't do so much. But see, like this every time they're comparing the best, like they call them budget because they go up to 5,000. Yeah. So it is in the budget, $1,000, 2,000. Yeah. Basically, budget is between 800 and 1,500. So, but every time they're comparing the best budget ones, you'll see this little icon. That's the MSI. Okay. See, it's in every single thing. Like it's always in that, and that's one thing I noticed. And then MSI, I know MSI is a great company, and they make a lot of computers for businesses too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
so they have to have some real business.
And then you got people like this that make a list. Oh, S tier means superior. So you remember I asked you why didn't they just do ABC like school? Right. Well, S means superior. So it's the best of the best. And this guy ranked the Acer. It's like it's either A or B, but he's compared. This one he had all kind of prices on. But see this one right here. That's there it is again. Yeah. It's the Katana. That's all you're seeing. Like when if you type in best budget gaming laptop, you're going to see Katana and that one too. There's the same ones. You'll see the Asus. That's the one I was thinking about getting to. The Asus, the MSI, and then there's the Acer Nitro. Yeah. And then maybe one more. That's the only four you see as the best. So I know but my thing was I couldn't quit looking. I was just like, let me quit looking.
Well, Wayne, that pen that you got, yeah, is it going to work real well with it?
Mom, that pen is for Apple iPad Pro. That pen is for this.
Okay.
Specifically made for this. It. I don't use it.
Will you get a new one?
No, I don't use a pen on laptops. I do sometimes. On a laptop? You don't use a pen on the laptop?
Tablet. A tablet, I do.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be using my tablet when I get a laptop.
Yeah. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care about a pen. I don't use a pen now on this.
I think it's.
I'd rather draw on paper.
Letters. I get aggravated.
I don't like drawing on. I don't like drawing on this because to me it feels like literally I can do this.
Like a child's
book. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too easy. It's like
it is too easy.
It's like it seems like I'm cheating. Like okay, let's say if I type.
I think it's a cheating type of feel.
No, but you're not though. It really, if the people really do drawing it, but you don't know if they really drew it because watch this. Like I can type in like they actually, you know what, they actually have AI programs out that you can say I want to train with a rocket attached to it. You type I want to train with a rocket attached to it with the sun behind it, and the AI makes the picture. That's that. So literally, artists are even getting.
Oh my gosh!
But that's what I'm saying. The AI's taking over everything.
So you could get a person to paint for you.
You could say, what does Jesus look like? And it'll give a version of Jesus because what it does, AI is able to tap into the internet, so it can literally, it's so fast it can look at everything almost in seconds. That's on the internet.
Put it up there
and actually make a picture. It draws the picture and everything. Okay. I know. I told you, AI is the closest thing to a real human being that we have. That's
so
not.
You mean to tell me he could make a
the AI? Yeah, yes, the AI
and have it framed and it look just like me.
Now it might not. No, I'm saying you can ask it to do something like say draw a car or. Mom, there's people using it to ask it to write papers about certain people and they're turning it to colleges. Okay. So it's able to write papers for students to cheat. That's how smart it is. So if you said write me a paper on C.S. Lewis, the writer, and it would literally write out a whole paper like a paper about the writer. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. People are using it in bad ways. That's the problem with it. What was that saying? With great power comes great responsibility. That's what Superman said. But say car digital artwork. Car digital art. Okay. See what I'm saying?
What can you do with that?
See, I can get my pen and draw that if I'm good enough. But why am I going to do that if I can just search that right there and get that? But people for companies, like, okay, let's say if you work for a motorcycle company or a car company, these people use those pens to draw cars, to draw what they want to make. So it is good for that. But I'm just saying, for me, I just feel like, why am I going to waste the time drawing something that looks like that when I can already see it?
See, that's true too.
And it's not on page. It's just like using a Bible. I'd rather have a Bible than using my pen. I just like having, just like I like drawing in pencil more than I like, and that's what I figured out when I got the pen, is I really didn't. But what I liked about it was the iPad Pro is the most powerful one you can get. So that's why it's lasting me so long. So that's the good. I really didn't get it just for the pen. I got it because it's the most powerful. Right. So.
I read your thing.
You read my what?
I read your thing on Facebook.
I don't know. I write some of the stuff.
You wrote something about it that you wished that you had found a girl that was.
That stuff God puts in my head. It's like literally like it literally just comes in my head. I don't write anything until it comes into my head. I don't like say let me see what I want to write. It's literally just.
It sounds like you look grown up.
Well, that's what I'm trying not to do. That's one thing I'm literally putting in my head, is trying not to look like I'm trying to be like super Christian.
Well, you sure are doing a good work.
That's why I'm saying me or I struggle with this, because that's, you know what I mean?
You sure doing really good.
Well, Mom, that's God. You need to give God credit for that, because
I bless him. I'll bless him.
Well, good, because listen, I wasn't able to do this years ago. That's my whole point. That's why I'm always trying, even when I'm commenting, I'm trying to make sure I give God the credit, because I want Christians to realize if they start reading the Bible, they'll feel just like I'm doing. But the problem is they're not listening to the Bible or learning it. If you don't learn it, God will not bless you with. Okay, it's like this. It's like when you do something for your parents, or you show love to your parents, they bless you, and they're more willing to do more stuff, do things for you. It's the same thing with God. When I spend time with Him, He's like, well, He's more likely to heal me and help me witness to people and show show me, you know, like with the TV shows and movies, I see things now, like right away I can tell when something bothers me, and I've learned to get rid of it, like commenting. I've learned to stop commenting because I would get so irritated, you know, calling people idiots, and I felt bad for calling people idiots all the time. But there's so many idiots on YouTube, it's like, but God was like, you know, there's so many, what are you going to do? He's showed me, like, why am I doing it if it's causing me to be aggravated? That's you know what I'm saying? Even though they are idiots, I don't need to worry about it. It has nothing to do with me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't write back because I think I got not maybe write back on yours because
No, I'm writing it. I
know people gonna know that
not a lot of people see it, and plus I'm putting it out there just in case. It's like the guy who sowed the seeds. A lot of the seeds died probably, but some of them, you know, and that's what God says. He says sow the seeds. He didn't says go out and make sure you get them saved. He says tell them, you know, talk to them, tell them, and if somebody can listen to a song that, like, if it, like, that's why I try to explain a song that has helped me realize something.
Yeah.
I'll put it up there, and that's, I don't know, because when I'm listening to music, stuff pops in my head, like memories.
Music just seems to be soothing to your ears or what.
Repeat emergency transmission. This is Amanda Holiday. My ship was disabled during combat and I was forced down into EDZ. While I was waiting for evac, I saw a Shadow Legion patrol leading a group of captives to a pyramid. I'm sneaking into the facility with the prisoners. I'll bring my comms along as a beacon. Whoever hears this, tell the Guardian to gear up and follow my signal. I'll be waiting. Repeat emergency transmission. Amanda Holiday. Does anyone read me?
There she is. I'm so glad to hear your voice.
Hey, Deborah. Good to hear you too. I was starting to worry I'd snuck in here for nothing.
Quite clever of you. A bit risky, though. Can't say I condone it.
Risky? Ain't you the fella who once ran a Cabal blockade just for fresh eggs?
Where in the facility are you, Amanda? Guilty as charged. Just hold tight, my dear. Reinforcements are on their way.
I'm in the cell block with the prisoners. The Guardian can follow my comm signal right to us.
They've hit a bit of a roadblock at the moment, but fear not, they're en route.
reach the pyramid not through its walls,